said, well, first of all, a friend of mine invited me and my wife. We had tickets for the meal, and I went. It didn't cost me a dime. Well, what's the other reason? I said, well, Bud, I went there to meet the big boys. That was the speakers, Republicans. And I said, I went there to find out who I was to make my check out to keep my job. See, I was going to flip. I was going to buy him a job like I got the first job. Oh, he said, you wouldn't do that. Well, anyway, it just so happened Governor Schaap was coming to office. And he signed Act 195, done away the political job for us, but not from me up. Superintendents, the people in Harrisburg, people up in Springfield and Harris, whatever, they all lost their jobs when they changed over. But they weren't protected by the union. But we were with that Act 195. So I didn't lose my job there. I didn't have to pay anything. Now me and Dart, we did go to a $100 plate dinner in Harrisburg Farm Show. But I thought, well, okay, this was way back before that. This is when Humphrey was running or somebody, I forget. And of course, them politicians, they get up front, they just give you a bunch of movement on it, You just have to let it go in one ear and out the other. Anyway, so that's the only time that I spent any amount of money to the party. Other when I bought my job, I give my boss $100. But the $100 plate dinner, it was all right. I mean, there was a whole bunch of people. Big time people.
When was that? What year?
Huh?
When year was that? 19...
Oh, well, see, I started in 72 or 71. I was under the Democratic Party. And then, that was Governor Schaap, yeah. He was Democrat, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, he signed that bill before he went out of office. That's how it was. But anyway, then the Republicans took over Harrisburg, Springfield, all the big shot districts, all the Lancaster district and all that stuff. But they couldn't get rid of me because I was not under their rules. We kept our jobs. And that's the way it was back then. They'd done away with the politics for the working man. That was a good move. Because there was guys on there that, hey, they'd done a good job. But come time the governor changed, they had to go. They'd done that different times. Back before my time, or before I was working. That's the way it was back then. People knew that too. Second day on the job, my boss come out, my superintendent. He was doing a job in Belleville, and they had another foreman to break me in as a foreman. I had to work with him, which is all right. Anyway, he come out, they got out of the car. Well, Bill, I'll tell you, 2 things I want you to do. What's that? I said, in the wintertime, keep the roads plowed and cindered and keep them open. The second thing, I want you to go get yourself 4 good Democrats. Republicans. Yeah, get your 4 good men, or 4 good Republicans. In other words, see, the crew that I had before me, they were all gone. But I had to he wanted to hire 4 good Democrats. That's how it was. And I looked at him and I said, well, I got a better idea. What's that? I said, how about me getting 4 good men? Oh, no. He said, I want 4 Democrats that pay for their job. So, I never did get involved in that. Nope, I never did. That's why we never had too many guys hired from Belleville when I started, because that's the way it was. I didn't want all those guys asked me about how to get a job one year. I didn't say, look, take your checkbook and go in there, you'll get a job. I didn't do that. But if you didn't take your checkbook in, they didn't hire you. That's the way it was back then. Until they changed that law, then the guys stayed on. That's why I stayed on for 22 years. Because they didn't change every time you changed the governor. But for my level up, that was a different thing, because those guys weren't paying union dues. They were more office people. But that was a good move, because you get guys, after you get guys on there that know the job, know how to run equipment,
Keep them
it's
on
a lot
there.
easier. Well, let's go over to McVietown and get something to drink.
All
I don't
right.
see no groundhogs coming out of the bushes here, do you?
No, I've been watching.
Yeah, down that way. I thought maybe one might come out or run across the road or something. But